What happened at the park that gave the police officers a belly laugh you will never forget? The cops pulled up with sirens flashing, and Agatha was already pointing at my dog like she'd uncovered a crime scene. She screamed about a dangerous beast, while Bear, my enormous fluffy Newfoundland, lay flat on his back, paws in the air, begging a toddler for belly rubs. I knew exactly how this was going to look. Bear would have to prove once again he's about as threatening and fluffy as a marshmallow. For context, Bear isn't your average dog. He's 120 pounds of shag carpet with a heartbeat. When I adopted him from a rescue, the paperwork said too lazy for an active household, which to me translated as an ideal roommate. No endless zoomies, no chewing furniture, just a big loaf with droopy eyes who thinks movement is optional. He quickly became a neighborhood celebrity. Kids ran up to hug him, teens asked for selfies, and older folks complimented his distinguished fluff. He was basically our block's unofficial therapy dog, but there was one person immune to his charm, Agatha. Agatha lived nearby, and every time she saw us, she'd mutter, "Irresponsible dog owner," like it was my legal title. The morning started like every other. Bear waddled into the park, flopped under a tree, and decided his walk was over. I sat on the grass, scrolling through my phone. Peaceful, right? Until Agatha stormed over like she was the sheriff of dog-hating county. "Control your animal! Why isn't that beast on a leash?" she barked. I gestured at Bear, who was literally snoring. "Ma'am, the only thing that needs controlling is when we need to go home." Her eyes narrowed. "Don't play dumb. He growled at me last week." I almost laughed. "You mean when he sneezed? Bear doesn't growl. He wheezes. Honestly, he sounds like a broken accordion." She jabbed her finger at me. "You're endangering the neighborhood. Someone has to do something." And with that, she whipped out her phone like she was in an action movie. "Yes, 911. I'm being threatened by a large, malicious dog. Send someone immediately." Meanwhile, Bear sat up just long enough to accept an ice cream cone from a passing toddler, then went back to licking it gently like it was the meaning of life. I offered to just leave, but she wouldn't let me go. When the police cruiser finally arrived, lights flashing, Agatha looked triumphant, like she'd just captured a fugitive. Two officers left their cruiser. They saw Partisha freaking out and knew where they were needed. Before they could say a word, Agatha launched into her speech. "Officers, thank goodness you're here. That beast growled and lunged at me. I barely escaped with my life." The shorter officer glanced at Bear, who was waddling over at sloth speed with his tongue hanging out. Bear plopped down against the officer's shin and sighed. "This him?" the officer asked. "Yep," I said. "Meet Bear. He's ferocious if you're made of snacks." The tall officer raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am, he doesn't look dangerous." Agatha gasped. "That's how they trick you. He's lulling you into a false sense of security." I deadpanned. "Yeah, he's a master manipulator. Watch this. Bear, attack." The police readied for a response, but Bear just blinked at me, sneezed, and rolled over for belly rubs, paws waving in the air. The shorter officer burst out laughing. "Oh no, I'm terrified. Somebody protect me from the fluff." "Don't be fooled," Agatha cried. "Sure," I said, pulling out my phone. "Let me show you his criminal record." I flipped through pictures. Bear in a hot dog costume, then in a tutu with glitter on his nose. I ended with the Christmas video where Bear was wrapped in Christmas lights, tail wagging like a tree topper. The officers cracked up. "Yeah, nothing says public menace like ballet accessories," the shorter one said, nearly choking on his laugh. Agatha stamped her foot. "You're laughing now, but when he attacks," the tall officer cut her off, voice sharp. "Ma'am, making a false police report is a crime. You told us you were in immediate danger. What I see is a dog taking a nap and a kid feeding him ice cream." Agatha's face went red. "I pay taxes. I demand protection." The shorter officer smirked. "And he pays taxes too. Difference is, he's not wasting our time." He nodded at me. "Nice dog. He drools on command, only on expensive shoes," I quipped. "He has standards." That got another laugh. Even the serious officer cracked a grin. Agatha flailed, desperate. "You're all in on this. This is corruption." The serious officer leaned in, his tone cold now. "If you call us again with fake emergencies, you'll be the one under arrest. Do you understand?" She sputtered something about lawyers and stormed off, heels clicking like angry castanets. I told the officers while patting Bear. "World's worst guard dog. If burglars broke in, he'd probably show them where we keep the snacks." The cops laughed all the way back to their cruiser, still chuckling about Bear's Halloween taco costume. Bear, oblivious to his new reputation as the fluffiest criminal in town, simply yawned, farted, and lay down again. I scratched his head. "Good job today, buddy. You beat the system with naps and drool."